Officials in California have increased the number of inmates they say could be released early due to the virus. Here's One America's Bobby Dupree.
An influx of more criminals on top of the ones we just got being released in our community, and we don't have the capacity to deal with them. It's difficult. It's frustrating.
California is on track to release nearly 18,000 inmates due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
But back into your community, it's going to have profound impacts for you. In
a filing with a federal judge last week, officials increased the estimated total of inmate releases from 10,400 to 17,600. That's 70% more than what was previously estimated.
It gives violent felons an opportunity to reoffend, which they continue to do. We wish these inmates the best of luck. We hope that they get their act together and stop committing crimes. But what we've seen in the past is not the case.
Some community groups and state officials are referring to the situation as a, quote, total madhouse. Many are struggling to find these inmates housing and other services as they could still pose a health risk to the public. Reports suggest several hundred have been paroled while still contagious.
Bringing it into the communities instead of being kept, they're like isolated in the prison. Now it's just like saying, go for it.
51 inmates have died and there have been 8,400 cases among prisoners. The early inmate releases are part of emergency measures to prevent rapid spread of COVID-19 and to protect those who live and work in California's prison system. Nearly 2,000 employees have contracted the virus, 8 have died, like Sergeant Cien Ki Lee.
He's a good dude, really nice guy. He really he left an impression on a lot of people he worked with.
A correctional sergeant at Valley State Prison in Chowchilla, Lee died August 2nd from pneumonia complications more than a month after testing positive for the virus. He had worked in the California prison system for 17 years.
COVID kind of hits us in a different way. We go to work, we come home. Are we bringing it home to our families? Are we taking it into work to our coworkers? We just don't know that. It's a scary time.
Due to the pandemic, the state says it needs to protect staff and inmates, but some are asking, what about the victims?
There is a lack of transparency in this process, and worse than that, the victims have been completely excluded from this process.
65-year-old Santiago Cruz excessively harassed his ex-wife and threw a Molotov cocktail at her while she was sleeping. He was serving a 125-year-to-life sentence when he was released.
I'm in fear for my life. My kids are in fear for my life. It's not fair. Why do I have to be in prison now? Why do I have to keep living like this?
Back in 1998, convicted killer Taribia Williams was given 84 years to life in prison. She's now walking free after serving less than a quarter of that sentence.
It's like losing my brother all over again.
Williams was convicted of killing 23-year-old John Ruska after shooting him and driving around for hours as he bled to death in her car.
They should be ashamed of themselves for granting these releases of these high-level crime offenders. It's just appalling.
Despite the estimated total of releases being increased to 17,600, California Corrections Secretary Ralph Diaz is expected to block the release of about 5,500. Many of those individuals are serving life sentences. Bobby Dupree, One America News.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.